Sickle cell disease is one of the most prevalent genetic conditions in Sub-Saharan Africa. It is a chronic, lifelong disease often characterized by severe pain. The SickleInAfrica consortium consists of the SickleAfrica Data Coordinating Center and the Sickle Pan-African Research Consortium, and aims to facilitate research in sickle cell disease and translate the research into healthcare and health outcomes towards breaking the sickle cycle in Africa.
People in the same family have the same mom or same dad. There would time genetic condition can run into family because we inherit half of our genetic material from the dad and the other half from the mom. So brother and sister for genetic condition could be affected according to the type of inheritance that the condition shows up with.
I lost 2 of my siblings because of the disease. My dad told me that you have this disease, but I did not understand anything.
When my parents discovered I was a sickler, I was still a baby then.
It was after the death of the father that we noticed that my second to last child, she's also ASS.
I inherited from both of my parents, my father and my mother.
With approximately 400,000 hemoglobinopathy annual births globally, sickle cell anemia is the most common hemoglobin disorder.
This is a blood disease that becomes very frequent in Africa because of if you have that specific trait, you resist to malaria. And because malaria is common in Africa, the disease becomes very, very common.
70% of patients or individuals with sickle cell anemia are born in Africa.
Symptoms of sickle cell can be different in each person. For myself, it would begin with the joints hurting, headaches, or the yellowness around the eyes. That's when I know, okay, something is wrong with my body. I should obviously take further measures.
70% of patients who are hospitalized come in with acute pain, or what is known as vaso-occlusive episodes.
If I do too much work, that can cause a crisis, or if I play too much sports, that could cause a crisis. But I didn't know much, like even infection can cause a crisis. Even being in a cold or a hot environment can cause a crisis.
A sickle crisis is severe pain that can begin suddenly and last several hours to several days. It happens as a result of sickled red blood cells that get trapped in small blood vessels. The pain can happen in any organ, but often occurs in the bones.
Treatments have been able to extend the lifespan and reduce morbidity, that is the illnesses that are associated and the complications that are associated with having sickle cell disease.
And hydroxyurea is a medicine that is available or that is taken orally, either as a capsule or as a syrup. One of the things about sickle cell disease is that it affects almost all organ systems, and so the treatments or the prevention and management of the complications require other interventions.
Because we can't do chronic transfusion, they use the fixed dose of hydroxyurea, and I think in a lot of countries in Africa have gone by that way.
We have a project that is now performed in about 4 African countries, South Africa of course, Tanzania, Ghana and Nigeria.
The aim is to build up the infrastructure for health advocacy, research and training for sickle cell disease in Africa.
And we work collaboratively at least to establish a cohort of children that will be followed hopefully for the next 20 or 30 years so that we understand better that condition.
Being able to diagnose babies at the time they are born is critical. We've been able to screen about 4,000 babies between 2016 and 2018.
What we want to do in that disease is to look for factors that make some of the children be less sick, and other factor the children will be more sick in such a way that we can have maybe some other ways for treatment for that very specific condition that doesn't have a treatment for now.
Self-management of the condition and parents being interested in learning more about the disease is another crucial component to managing sickle cell.
We have a multidisciplinary training for healthcare workers, not only about doctors, but nurses, community health extension workers, pharmacists.
Since we started the project on sickle cell disease, we have facilitated the creation of Sickle Cell Africa support group. That is a group that will put together patients and family and also professionals to promote the sickle cell disease.
Coming to be part of the research that is going on help us to get knowledge which we have used to educate our support group.
And all this are helping us in increasing awareness.
In sickle cell, the young people are the potential parents and the people who can help us in breaking the sickle cell cycle.
With the interventions that we put in place, we're able to see the impact much more significantly, and we'll be able to investigate using clinical trials what are the appropriate ways to introduce these interventions and have an impact on the individuals with sickle cell disease.